Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will discuss about molecular basis of mutation. Before going into the detail of mutations, we must first understand the basic and fundamental terminology used while describing the mutations. A mutagen is a substance that has the potential to induce a change or mutation, or it can increase the rate of mutation, is known as mutagen. And the organism or the cell that carries that change in the DNA is known as mutant. Similarly, mutant allele can be described as an allele differing from the allele found in the wild or standard type. Mutant hunt. The process of collecting different mutants showing abnormalities in structure and function as preparation for mutational dissection of that structure or function. In the environment, the organisms are experiencing various types of mutagens in the form of chemicals and in the form of radiations. As a result of that change in the DNA, phenotype changes, and that change in either structure or function results in altered phenotypes. So the collection of the organisms with altered phenotype is known as mutant hunt. Mutational dissection. The study of the components of a biological function through the study of mutations affecting that function. Actually, mutations are changes in the DNA, and these changes in the DNA, they have a strong impact on the structure and function of the mutated protein. So the study of the biological function and how these mutations are altering the structure and function of the mutated protein and identification of these mutations is known as mutational dissection. Mutational site. Mutational site is actually the place at which mutations occur, or we may say that the damaged or altered area within the mutated gene. Mutation breeding. Use of mutagens to develop variants that can increase agriculture yields. Mutation breeding is routinely used in agriculture, and this is a method for deliberate induction of mutations in the seed germplasm, and then the variants with better performance are selected as parents for next generation. In mutation breeding, following standard operating procedures, the germplasm is irradiated with gamma radiations, as a result of which mutations are induced, and then these mutated seeds are sown in the field, and then their performance is recorded. The plants with better performance, they are selected, and ultimately the standard techniques of genetics, that is selection and hybridization, are done, and better performers are selected as parents for next generation. When we talk about the mutations, we come across frequently with the term variant. And that variant can be described as an individual organism that is recognizably different from an arbitrary standard type in that species. Mutation rate. The number of mutation events per gene per unit of time is known as mutation rate. And the smallest part of the gene that can be involved in the mutation event, now known to be a nucleotide pair. It can range from a nucleotide pair to even hundreds of nucleotide bases. And that part that is involved in the mutation event is known as muton. Before Understanding the mutations, it is very important to understand the heterogeneity, especially the genetic heterogeneity. In general, we can define heterogeneity as the state of being heterogeneous. It is a nature of opposition or variety of qualities pertaining to the sciences. It is a substance that is diverse in kind or nature, composed of diverse parts or resulting from different causes. A heterogeneous entity is composed of dissimilar parts. Hence, the constituents are of different kinds. For example, we can discuss heterogeneity from different angles. In physics, having more than one phase, for example, you have a material that has different phases. It has some phase, some part of solid phase and some liquid or gas present in a system or process. In chemistry, a heterogeneous material consists of can either or both of multiple states of the matter or hydrophilic and hydrophobic substances in one mixture. For example, of the latter would be a mixture of water, octane, and silicon grease. In information technology, different types of computers, potentially with varying memory sizes, processing power, and even basic underlying architecture. Alternatively, a data resource with multiple types of formats is heterogeneous computers. And in sociology, it may refer to a society or group that includes individuals of different ethnicities, cultural backgrounds, ages, or sexes. Now we come to the point that in medicine and genetics, what we mean by heterogeneity. A genetic or allelic heterogeneous condition is where the same disease or condition can be caused or contributed by different genes or alleles. For example, and there is a frequent neurosensory defect which is known as hereditary hearing loss. And it has been reported that approximately more than 1% of the human genome is involved in the pathophysiology of the hereditary hearing loss. So mutation in GJB2 gene or mutation in transmembrane channel or mutation in cadherin 23 or protocadherin 15, etc. or autofurlin gene. So mutation in any of these genes can result in hereditary hearing loss with different levels and different intensities. So in genetics, heterogeneity means that the same disease or same clinical phenotype is caused by different genes or alleles. This heterogeneity can further be divided into locus heterogeneity and allelic heterogeneity. Determination of the disease or phenotype by mutations at different loci. For example, the same disease, same ophthalmic disease known as glaucoma or kala motia in Urdu. Glaucoma is caused by different genes which are located on different chromosomes. For example, one gene which is responsible for glaucoma is located on chromosome 6 and the other gene, this is located on chromosome 18. So these are the places on the chromosome where these genes are located. These are the loci. So this is the locus heterogeneity, that different genes located on different chromosomes, they are actually contributing toward the same disease phenotype. This is known as locus heterogeneity. When we talk about the allelic heterogeneity is actually the occurrence of different types of alleles at a single locus. For example, protocadherin 15 is a gene located on chromosome 10 and it is involved in Usher syndrome. Usher syndrome is characterized by congenital hereditary bilateral hearing loss, retinitis pigmentosa, and vestibular dysfunction. So, different genes, either missense, nonsense, splice variant, frame shift, deletions, insertions, translocations, duplications. So, different types of mutations in this PCDH15, they result in non-syndromic hearing loss or Usher syndrome. So this is the allelic heterogeneity, and more than 200 mutations in PCDH15 have been reported which are associated with non-syndromic hearing loss or Usher syndrome. This is allelic heterogeneity. In simple words, allelic heterogeneity means different mutations in the same gene are contributing towards a clinical phenotype. Sorry. Many different mutations within a given gene can be seen in different patients with a certain genetic condition. Many diseases show both locus and allelic heterogeneity. The third type of heterogeneity is clinical heterogeneity. Clinical heterogeneity is the situation when the same mutation in the gene produces different clinical spectra of the phenotype. For example, a same mutation in the PCDH15 produces only non-syndromic hearing loss in certain families, but the same mutation in different population is reported to produce non-syndromic hearing loss along with retinitis pigmentosa and vestibular dysfunction, and we may commonly called as Usher syndrome. Now, we will briefly describe the molecular basis of the gene mutations. Mutations are actually the changes in the DNA sequence of the genes. Mutations can be point mutations, which typically refer to the alteration of single base pair of the DNA or small number of adjacent base pairs. And these can be the mutations in DNA can cause substitutions in the protein. Substitution means as a result of a nucleotide change, as a result of nucleotide change, a protein is replaced in the DNA. Sorry, amino acid is replaced in the protein. Now, mutations can be classified in different ways. Mutations can be induced or spontaneous depending upon the mode of origin. The mutations which origin without any in human intention and intervention, they are known as induced mutations. Sorry, induced mutations are those mutations which are deliberately induced as a result of treatment with a mutagenic substance. That can be an environmental agent known to increase the rate of mutations. And there is deliberate human intention and intervention involved. While the spontaneous mutations are those which occur in the absence of any known mutagenic treatment. And these account for the background rate of the mutation and are presumably the ultimate source of natural genetic variation that is seen in the population. Causes of spontaneous mutation can be tautomerism. In tautomerism, a base is changed by the repositioning of the hydrogen atom. And as a result of the repositioning of the hydrogen atom, there is alteration in the bonding pattern of that base. As a result of it, there is an incorporation of incorrect base pairing. Similarly, another cause for spontaneous mutation is depurination. Loss of a purine base is known as depurination. Deamination, removal of the amino group. This is also a cause for spontaneous mutation. And slipped strand mispairing. It is a mutation process which occurs during DNA replication. It involves denaturation. Denaturation means the hydrogen bonds between the two strands of the DNA, they are broken and the two strands become separate. Two strands are displaced and ultimately there is mispairing of the complementary bases. Mutation can also be classified depending upon the tissue in which the mutation occurs. The mutation, those which occur in the somatic cells, they are known as somatic mutations, and they affect other body tissues, for example, and they are usually inherited through mitosis. For example, cancer. Germline mutations affect the tissues that produce eggs and sperm, and they are heritable meiotically between generations. There are a lot of human diseases which are inherited from the parents to the offspring, and these mutations are inherited through the gametes. That is why these are known as germline mutations. Mutations can also be classified on the basis of the function that is being impacted. There can be loss of function mutation. If the mutation results in the reduction or total abolishment of the function of the gene, then it is known as loss of the function. If the function is entirely lost, the mutation is called null mutation. It is also possible that some function may remain, but not at the level of the wild type allele. These are called leaky mutations. There are 11 different ways by which the function of a gene can be disrupted. One is delete. If we delete the entire or part of the gene, the function of the gene will be disrupted. If we insert a sequence at any place in the gene, there will be a frame shift mutation and the function of the gene may be disrupted. Third is by disrupting the gene structure. And there are two ways. One is by translocation. Translocation means transfer of a chromosomal segment to a new position, especially on a non-homologous chromosome. And the second way for the disruption of the gene structure is inversion. We can define inversion as if two breaks occur in one chromosome. Sometimes the region between the break rates 180 degrees before rejoining with the two end fragments. Such an event creates a chromosomal mutation called inversion. Similarly, if the promoter is stopped from working, the function of the gene can be disrupted and the promoter can be disrupted from functioning by either by mutation or methylation. If we induced a mutation in the promoter, ultimately the transcription factors and the cellular machinery involved in transcription will be unable to bind because these are sequence specific. As a result of mutation, their sequence will be changed. Or if it is methylated, if methyl group is attached, even then the transcription process will be stopped and the function of the gene will be disrupted. The function of the gene can also be reduced or disrupted by destabilizing the mRNA, and it can be disrupted by either polyadenylation site mutation or by nonsense mediated RNA decay. If the correct splicing is prevented, function of the gene will be disrupted. Similarly, by introducing a frame shift mutation, converting a codon into stop codon, replacing an essential amino acid, and prevent post-transcriptional processes and prevent correct cellular localization of the product. Haploinsufficiency is very important when we are describing the loss of function mutation. Haploinsufficiency is actually a genetic disease in which the contribution from the normal allele is insufficient to prevent the disease because of the loss of the function mutation at the other allele. For example, the individual receives a genetic hit either on the maternal or the paternal copy of the chromosome. So as a result of the genetic hit, the individual has one normal copy and has one mutated copy. In case of autosomal recessive, the one normal copy is usually to maintain normal phenotype. But in case of haploinsufficiency, since the individual is having one disease allele and one wild type allele, so that wild type allele is not in a position to maintain the normal phenotype. And the phenomenon is known as haploinsufficiency. There are several diseases reported in human that are the result of haploinsufficiency. One is Williams syndrome. Williams syndrome is a neurodevelopmental disorder characterized by the haploinsufficiency of the gene located at long arm of the chromosome 7. Other diseases are cleidocranial dystosis, which involves the abnormal development of the bones in the skull and the collar. The condition is passed down in the next generation, and its incidence is 1 per million individuals worldwide. The gene involved is RUNX2, which encodes proteins that are involved in bone and cartilage development and maintenance. As a result of haploinsufficiency, the gene is not in a position to maintain its normal function and results in disease phenotype. Similarly, Marfan syndrome is a disorder that affects the connective tissue in many parts of the body. Connective tissue provides strength and flexibility to the structures such as bones, muscles, blood, ligaments, heart, valves. The signs and symptoms of the Marfan syndrome vary widely in severity, timing of onset, and rate of progression. The other type of mutation classification of mutation is gain of function, the way in which the mutation affects the function of a gene. Mutation can be either loss of function mutation or gain of function mutation. In gain of function mutation, a mutation that results in increase or an addition of one or more new functions of the protein. It's if we discuss the mechanism how, then a receptor can be permanently on. If the protein is an enzyme, it can acquire a new substrate. There may be overexpression. Similarly, ion channel inappropriately open and chimeric. Nucleotide changes are of two types: transitions and transversion. And transition is the replacement of a base by the other bases of same chemical category. For example, purine is replaced by purine, or pyrimidine is replaced by pyrimidine, then it is transition. And if purine is being replaced by pyrimidine or pyrimidine is being replaced by purine, then it is known as transversion. As far as the impact of these mutations is concerned, it may range from none to major impact. That is why certain mutations are known as silent mutations, and this is because of degeneracy of the codon, since more than one amino acids are being encoded from the same codon. So sometimes as a result of change in the nucleotide, codon is changed, but the same amino acid is encoded. So there is no clinical impact, and that is why the mutation is known as silent mutation. As far as the minor impact is concerned, substitution of the same type, synonymous substitution, are allozymes are proteins with minor changes in electric charge. Substitution affects 20, 30, or 40 structure in case of major impact, and these are known as non-synonymous substitution, and the examples include sickle cell hemoglobin. Mutations can be classified also as silent mutations, as I have just told you, that these mutations ultimately have no impact on the protein structure and function and sequence. Missense mutation, the codon for one amino acid is replaced by codon for another amino acid. And nonsense mutation, these mutations result in premature or immature truncation, and as a result of the change in the nucleotide, and there is a stop codon, and which results in the termination of the translation. Mutations can occur mutations can occur in regulatory and structural region, regulatory, and other non-coding sequences. Those parts of the genes that are not protein coding contain a variety of crucial functional sites at the DNA level. These are the sites to which specific transcription regulating proteins must bind. At the RNA level, there are also important functional sequences such as self-ligating sites for intron exon in the eukaryotic messenger RNA. It is very important to realize that such regulatory mutations will affect the amount of the protein product of a gene, but they will not alter the structure of the protein. Alternatively, some mutations might completely inactivate function, such as polymerase binding or intron exon, and can be lethal. Now we talk about the mutants. There are different types of mutants. Mutants can be classified as mutations or morphological mutants, and these are the mutations that affect the outwardly visible properties of the organism, for example, shape, color, or size. And the examples include albino ascospores in Neurospora, curly wings in Drosophila and Waspi, and lethal mutations. A mutation resulting in the death of the organism bearing it. For example, certain hemoglobinopathies. Similarly, conditional mutations, a mutation that has wild type phenotype under certain environmental conditions, and a mutant phenotype other set of environmental conditions. The conditions where the individual or organism has normal phenotype, those are known as permissive conditions, and where the organisms have mutant phenotype, these set of conditions are known as restrictive conditions. Wild type means genotype or phenotype that is found in nature or in the standard lab stock for a given organism. Examples of conditional nutrients include temperature conditional mutations. For example, certain Drosophila mutations are dominant, heat sensitive lethals. Heterozygous are wild at 20 degrees centigrade, but they die if the temperature rises to 30 degrees centigrade, restrictive conditions. Biochemical mutations, the mutation resulting in loss or change of some biochemical function of the cell. Microorganisms are prototrophic or auxotrophic. Biochemical mutations are auxotrophic. Resistance mutations, a mutation that confers on the mutant cell or the organism the ability to grow in the presence of some specific inhibitor like cyclohexamide or a pathogen that blocks growth of wild type. Such mutations are used as genetic markers. In the end, I will briefly describe the nomenclature to describe the mutations and their impact. Null allele or amorph is an allele that produces no product. Hypomorph is an allele that produces a reduced amount or activity of the product. Similarly, hypermorph is an allele that produces an elevated amount or activity of the product. Neomorph is an allele with a novel activity or product. Antimorph is an allele whose activity or product antagonizes the activity of normal product. Thank you very much. This was all about mutations.